A planned protest in Harare, Zimbabwe against government corruption and growing economic hardship has been shut down by police and soldiers. MDC Alliance National Spokesperson Fadzai Mahere, as well as renowned author Tsitsi Dangambera, are among activists arrested over the protest.
Yes, sure. Fadzai Mahere was arrested this morning together with Tsitsi Dangambera. She's an author. They were arrested in the southern suburbs of northern suburbs of Harare, and I understand Fadzai Mahere had held a short protest near a house with some of her sisters and friends, and they were arrested at a coffee shop in Borodo this morning by the police after the protest. So as we are speaking, I understand they are in the custody of the police right now, but at the moment it's very quiet, and still the police, it's after midday, and still the police and the army are everywhere, armed and patrolling and asking people who are driving in and out of town why are they, what's the purpose of coming into the city.
Let's speak now to human rights lawyer Nqobizitha Mlilo. He joins us via Skype for more. So, Nqobizitha, during his inauguration, President Emmerson Mnangagwa said, and I quote, "Let me assure you that tomorrow is brighter than yesterday. Let us now focus on the journey ahead, a journey of prosperity in the new Zimbabwe." Is there anything new about the Zimbabwe?
During the coup, some of us did warn that if Mr. Mugabe was Satan, then Mr. Mnangagwa was the devil. And we did warn that the coup had nothing to do with the resolution of the democratic deficit in the country. The coup had nothing to do with the fulfillment of the ideals that saw young people and young men and young women go to war to fight the colonial regime. That coup had nothing to do with the completion of the business of the struggle for national liberation. Some of us did warn that there was going to be a continuation of the closure of democratic space, and that Mr. Mnangagwa was irreconcilable with any democracy. So what we are seeing today does not surprise some of us. But what is important is that we must continue to emphasize that Zimbabwe continues to walk on a thin ice of a tipping to tip, that at some point, I have no doubt in my mind that Zimbabweans will see that the only option left available to them is to confront this fascism.
And they tried to confront it today, and they were met with resistance from authorities. You talk about a continuation of a democratic space not being there in Zimbabwe. Would you suggest that perhaps it's a military state?
Zimbabwe has always been a military state. It has always been a state where the desires of the military find political expression. But of late, we have seen that the rank and file of members of the military are in fact people who were born after independence. It is people of our age, it is people who suffer the same fate economically as we do. So I'm convinced that these people that you see in the streets wearing military regalia or wearing police uniform are not the ordinary police officer, are not the ordinary soldier. It is a militia that has been created, and the militia created almost outside the state. And this is not new, because Gukura Wundi was in fact the killing of our people in Matabeleland at the instance of an army that had no direct control, or that was not an army that was not one which was sanctioned by the constitution. So these people that you see in the military wearing, in the streets rather, wearing military regalia, I am convinced that they are not the ordinary soldier and the ordinary police. The ordinary soldier and the ordinary police realizes that it is necessary to effect changes in the country. So I think that this confrontation that is happening, it is only a matter of time that before even those who truly wear military uniform, who are the ordinary rank and file of the soldier and the police, will also turn their guns on those who are causing so much suffering to Zimbabwe.
The situation in Zimbabwe, rather, is quite curious. So you have people who want to rise up and speak against a government that is not serving them, and yet they're met with repression. And then you have a government that announced earlier this week as well that they will be paying for white farmers whose land was taken away from them during Robert Mugabe's tenure. And so you find a Zimbabwe that wants to do, or wants to be seen in the public arena at least, to be doing right because they want sanctions lifted against the country, yet at home ordinary Zimbabweans are not living a life that they would like to.
Dude, I don't think anyone takes the Mnangagwa regime seriously, including those who were the target of that message around the payment of white commercial farmers whose land was taken. The first question to ask is the land that was taken, whose land was it in the first place? It was the land of the ordinary Zimbabwean. It was the land of the Africans in Zimbabwe. The land reform process, we must make it clear, is irreversible. What was done in the ordinary Zimbabwean now has land. So the question of land is one that is closed. The struggle against colonialism and the struggle for national liberation had central to it the question of land. So anyone who seeks to suggest that we must move towards paying white commercial farmers at this time, when hospitals don't have medicine, when schools are closed, when the basic structure of the economy is basically dead, I think as their priorities misplaced. But what comforts us most is that no one takes the Mnangagwa regime seriously. It is a vain attempt to try and win favor from imperial powers, and I have no doubt in my mind that they won't listen.
Nqobizitha Mlilo, thank you very much for sharing your perspective on what is happening in Zimbabwe.